Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. How's my 2020 survivors and my viewers doing this morning, y'all? How y'all doing? Since the last time I've been on here, y'all. How's the weather where y'all at? It's been raining off and on here, y'all. But I thought I'd come back with another What's the Tea of the Day? So I got my tea, y'all. I hope you got yours. I'm drinking some lemon tea this morning. Mm-hmm. It's nice and hot. So what I want to talk about is how ridiculous some of these prices are. I mean, they're really, really ridiculous. I went out the other day with my neighbor. We went to a sandwich shop, and she went to go and buy a sandwich. It's a large cheesesteak for someone, okay? Now, the large cheesesteaks are $18.90, y'all. $18.90. A small is $9.50. Now, follow what I'm saying. Now, if you want tomatoes on your steak, it's $1 on a small steak, and $2 if you want tomatoes on a large. Now, that's a coincidence. I seen this maybe a couple weeks ago or so on Facebook, whereas someone was saying, it's like a joke, that their dad is so stingy that if he goes and buys a sandwich and if they charge for tomatoes, if he's going home, he'll take his sandwich home and put the tomatoes on it. Now, you know what? I must be a cheapskate too, because before I pay $1 or $2 for tomatoes on a sandwich, I'd rather take it home and put my own tomatoes. That way I can slice it the way I want it. Because this place is charging you for tomatoes on a cheesesteak, and they only give you little shrivels of this tomato. I guess on a large tomato you can make about $10 charging people $1 and $2. $1 to put tomatoes on a small steak and $2 to put tomatoes on a large steak. It's highway robbery, because it's already, $18.90 just to pay for the large steak, and then you got to pay $2 on a large steak. So that makes it $20.90. Follow me now, y'all. Okay. Like I said, the large steak, $18.90. So, make a long story short, I comes out and get in the car before my neighbor does. So when she comes out and she has a bag with this one sandwich in it, she said they charged her $25 for one sandwich. So I said, oh no, that's wrong. I said, did you get a receipt? So she goes back in there. She was in there for a little while. But while she's in there, I looks in the bag. I see she has a cheesesteak, 2 small bags of roasted peppers. Now, when they called her up to get her sandwich, they had a small cheesesteak. She said, well, I ordered a large. So they said they didn't hear. So they said they would fix another small steak. That way she would have 2 small steaks that would equal 1 large. So it still should only be $18.90. Now, so $18.90, So then, I imagine she wanted, she did get roasted peppers. Now, here where they was kind of slick. Because even though she had 2 small sandwiches, because they claimed they didn't hear her order and one large, those two small should have still equal to that one large steak, and still should have came to $18.90. She wanted some roasted hot peppers, roasted sweet peppers on the side. So this is what they probably did, because when I said I looked in her bag, she had two small little plastic bags with peppers in them. So they probably charged her $2 a piece for each of these little pack of peppers, which would have made it $22.90. The way I see it, they should only gave her one bag of the peppers, which would have been $2, because she asked for a large steak. They made her too small, which make a whole. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. So she still should have got the one pack of peppers instead of two, because now they didn't give her two, so they probably charged her $4, 2 and 2. So that made it 22. Now she got tomatoes on a large steak, so that was $2. So that made it $24.90. So she said she told me it came to $25 plus change. So my figuring is $24.90. If the sandwich was $18.90, $4, $2 a piece for 2 little packs of the roasted homemade peppers, and $2 for the tomatoes, because on the large steak they said it's $2. So what I'm thinking is 24. They probably charged her twice too for the tomatoes, which would have been 24, 25. Yeah, that's what they did. They charged. So anyway, y'all, it came out to $25.90 or 25, whatever the change was. But I'm just saying that to say it's really ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. Who pays $25 and change for a cheesesteak sandwich? If I'm going to pay $25, I'm going to go somewhere and sit down and have a nice little steak dinner. And then I won't mind. But 25, come on. $25 and change for a regular cheese sandwich. Large, they're charging for every little thing. Now, I have been some places where they charge, if you want extra tomatoes or peppers or what have you, anywhere from 35 cents to 75 cents if you want extra. But now this is $1. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just a cheapskate. I don't know. But it ain't got $25 for a cheesesteak. Come on. And a delicatessen. But anyway, I remember back in the day, you got all that stuff for free. You know, all the vegetables is crazy. I know the price of living went up, but come on. You can get 2 sandwiches for that price, and less. The sandwiches be good, but come on. That is too much. So, I'm just saying. Everybody's getting all this extra money. I know I'm just repeating myself, saying the same things I've said in other videos about this, but we gotta use our heads. We gotta use common sense. Sure, the weather's getting nice. Sure, you want to go on vacations and you want to do this and that, and you want to buy your hair and your nail, get your nails done, but be reasonable. Be reasonable. Think about it before you start splurging. Because this money is not going to be there all the time for us. People that never got food stamps before are getting them now, but then going to stop one day. People that's already getting food stamps but getting extra, that's going to stop one day. You know, think about it, especially if you have children. You got to think about the long haul. You got to think about for some of your kids, maybe their graduations and proms and all this is coming up. So deal with that. You know, go out again, I'm saying. Buy a freezer. Fill it up. You know, buy big quantities of meat and have the butchers to cut it down for you. You know, go out and buy a small pig and let them cut that up. And get that bacon, that pork chops and everything. Whew, I don't know how much a small pig is. I know years ago I'd asked about one that was like 200 and something. So I imagine I know it's a little bit more, but look at all the meat you get out of it. You know, make that money stretch and those food stamps. Shop wisely, you know. If you have young kids, start them out with a Gerber insurance and pay it up for 6 months, a year. Especially if you have newborn babies or 1 year old. It's not that much, once a week. The payments, once a month. So get them in that insurance and pay it up for 6 months or a year if you have young kids. It'll pay off in the end. The Gerber insurance, they double. If you get a $10,000, they double it to $20,000. And when your child gets 18, I think it's 18 or 21, but I believe it's 21, they can borrow on the insurance. But you know, spend the money wisely. And if you're not planning on going on vacation, not going nowhere, you can still look good. But watch out how you spend the money. Instead of always going to the nail salon, learn how to do your own nails sometimes. And go to the nail salon for special occasion. My granddaughter's aunt sent her a real nice nail case with everything in it. And she did her own nails, and it looked like she went to the nail salon. Sit down and figure out how much money you spend a month on hair and nails and feet and makeup. Sit down and see how much money you're spending out there and how you can cut it down some. How you can do some of this stuff for yourself in order to save money, in order to pay those bills. You're getting all this money. Pay that rent up for 2 or 3 months. You know, I'm just saying, y'all, because things is getting sky high. And when things ever get back to normal, and then you got to look back and say, I should have did this with that money, and I should have did that. Sure, it's nice to take a vacation. But don't rush into it because you got a lump sum of money. Sit down and say, well, I'm going to put this much aside, add more to it, and maybe by the end of the summer we'll take a vacation. But also, I got $1,400, I got $1,600, so I'm going here and I'm going there, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Before you know it, it's all gone. Child. Look what we had to go through last year and still going through, because we still got to walk around with these masks on and everything. Don't want to hug people, don't want to get close to people. Look at all the stuff that we done went through. So when we get this money, think wisely. You don't know what's coming next. We don't know what's coming after this. It could be something worse. So think ahead. Think long term, not short term. Think long term. If I was you, I would stack up on battery operated lamps, as well as stacking up on all size batteries that you need for whatever. I have one battery. I have more than one, but I have one in particular battery operated lamp that even has a radio on it. Yeah. So you better stack up on these things because you know how the lights go out from time to time. Get a generator, you know. Buy a generator. Stack up on those canned goods, those cans of beans and those bags of beans and the cans of tuna and the jars of the spaghetti sauce and the soups and so much. Stack up. Don't think about just one day and be sorry the next day. While you got that extra money, y'all. There's nothing wrong with taking a vacation. And yes, everybody wants to look nice. But think about it. Sit down and work it out. And say, do I really need this or do I really need that? You know? You don't have to spend all your money in one place or spend all your money at one time. Make it stretch. Keep in mind that this is money, that free money that we're not going to get forever. Think about what we had to go through in order to get this money. Many lives lost. The children can't go to school. You can't hug people. You can't get too close to people. And this is going to go on for quite some time. People are still going to be too skeptical of hugging a person or being too close to someone. I mean, so when you get this money, I know it's stressful. People are stressed out and say, I deserve to go here. And everybody deserves a vacation. Everybody deserves to have a good time, but think wisely. Now, if you don't have no children, this is what you want to do, or your kids is grown, it's just you, or you and your husband, or mate, or whatever, do whatever you want. Still think wise. But if you got a family, you got kids, think. 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 And think about how you can have more fun at home. You don't want to run out there too quick and run out on these beaches and all these other crowded places, these concerts and all this where crowds of people are going to be. Because we're just stirring it back up more and more. And then these are the same people that don't even want to wear a mask to help protect themselves and others. So, but when she told me the price of that sandwich, I said, as old as I am, I ain't never been nowhere and paid that much for a steak sandwich. For a steak sandwich, a cheesesteak sandwich, you paying for this and that and all this to go on it. Learn how to do it. Some of this stuff you can do it yourself at home. And I know, yes, sometimes, especially for those that are out there working every day, sometimes you come home, you don't feel like cooking. So you'll order a pizza and wings, or you'll order a sandwich, or Popeyes, or McDonald's, or whatever. But cut down, do it every now and then. Because this stuff out here is highway robbery. And then take the time sometime and practice doing this stuff yourself. Then you can make it the way you want it. You can make your sandwiches the way you want to make it. It's not that hard to make a cheeseburger. It's not that hard to make a steak sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you got to pay all this money, $25, because you got to pay for this and you got to pay for that and that. It used to be a time when they would put lettuce on your hoagie sandwiches, and they stopped doing that. And to me, that's what makes a hoagie. It's the lettuce, tomatoes, and everything. But they stopped putting tomatoes So now they want to charge you if you want these things on your sandwich. So you could buy a $10 sandwich and come out paying $25, $30. And you didn't even have it delivered. You went and bought it yourself and still paid. Sandwich $18.90, you wind up paying $25. And you're there picking it up. You didn't even have it delivered. So think, y'all. Think. Pay attention. See what's going on out here. When you go to the markets, check out the prices. See how they have skyrocketed. And I guess that's only normal for what's going on here. Even though we were told last year, if you see this, what is it called? Price gouging or whatever you want to call it. To report it. But I imagine nobody, really report it because they're going to still have their way. And, it's, the price is going to still be high. But I just had to tell y'all about that because I can't believe it. I mean, the sandwich, $25 for, it's really a cold cut sandwich with luncheon meats. Cold cut sandwich with luncheon meats. And I can make that sandwich in much less than $25. When you get the tomatoes, you can get your rolls, your luncheon meats. Come on, you can make it yourself for much less. Much less. So, I just wanted to bring that to y'all's attention. I just had to tell y'all about that because that was really ridiculous. And then they claimed they didn't hear that she ordered a large, so she got too small, which equaled a large. But then, look at how much it came to. If they had gave her what she asked for in the beginning, I wonder how much they would have charged her then. But they probably was charging her like she had too small. So they probably charged her for the tomatoes on one and then tomatoes on the other. Then they really shouldn't have did that because she only ordered one sandwich, which would have been a large. So even though they had to put stuff on both sandwiches, it still should have equaled out to one. So that being said, y'all, I hope y'all followed what I was saying. But I just had to come back at y'all with that. So just a word of advice, do some of this stuff yourself. Order out every once in a while, maybe on Saturday or a day that you don't feel well. But for those that order out a lot, cut it down some because sometimes it's like highway robbery, y'all. And just do this stuff yourself. I mean, there's enough cooking shows and all on YouTube and other channels that you can learn cooking skills and all the many, many cookbooks. And you can even just sit down and just get some, get your own burgers or make your own burgers. My kids used to call my burgers my mama burgers. Because I would make the homemade burgers and put in green peppers and onions, nice and big burgers, and they loved them. So make your own burgers. And then you can put what you want on it for free, the stuff that you have already in your house for free. So with that being said, y'all, I just want to tell everyone to stay covered up, please. It's not over, so still wear your mask. Still try to stay 6 feet apart from people and, just do what we got to do to try to stay safe and stay prayed up so that we can get through this year. We got through last year and we're going to make it this year because God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good. So with that being said, y'all, I want you to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll be notified of another video. And I love you. I hope you love me too.